Hello everybody, Walter here. Welcome to the short addition to my Ficsmas post from the other day. This is going to be a very quick tour through my current Ficsmas build and Satisfactory, so I won't go through all of the details concerning the structure, but I'll at least give you a general idea how I went about this. So let's start on the outside. The outer shape shouldn't really need any explanation, but what you can already see here is how I incorporated the small and the big Ficsmas trees as an integral part of this structure itself. To the right here you can also see where I'm getting my iron and my copper for some of the parts, and with that let's get a closer look. Once you get a bit closer you can already see the very simple path that is leading directly up onto the platform and leading also directly to the entrance to the hollowed out tree trunk, which for obvious reasons contains the entire storage area that handles all of the Ficsmas related items. And well, let me very quickly actually turn these on. I got this earlier. So as you can see, from the Ficsmas gifts over the various ornaments and bundles up to things like snow and snowballs, and also now all of these fireworks. I tried my best to light up this space in a way that it looks nice with lumen, and I also tried my hand a bit on decorating the room so it looks more interesting, and I think it actually looks very, very nice the way it turned out. And I think I'll try this style of build a few more times in the future. Anyway, in the center of our build, we have, moving up, the copper and the iron ore, and moving down, the finished products. At the back, we have the return line, so everything that didn't fit anywhere in the storage area gets moved up again, where it's then put into an awesome sink. And with that, it's time to have a look at the parts that are a bit higher, but for that we will actually have to get on the outside, since there is no pathway from the inside, except starting deleting some of those foundations. So let's very quickly get up here. And once I'm up there, I'm actually going to turn off lumen, because it's very dark in there and you wouldn't be able to see anything at all. Because it's not really meant to be watched for the most part. And as you can see, here at the top is the secret entrance, and I can get down here and have a look. So you can see the 3 layers of the actual tree. The bottom ones, the bottom 2 are actually filled with those factory buildings. The top one is empty and not really needed for the factories. So let's start with the whole setup. We have the whole setup in rings, and generally the setup goes either from the inside to the outside or from the outside to the inside. The first ring is, or the first layer is a bit of a mixed bag here. On the inside, let's start actually here. Here we are getting the ores that are coming straight up through the storage area, and here the final products are being put back into the storage area, and here is the feedback from the storage area, or the overflow, moved into the sink. That's this part. Now the next inner ring is made up of all of these smelters which produce the iron and the copper ingots, which then are used for later. Now let's actually jump to the outermost ring, which you already saw essentially, because it's made up of those Ficsmas trees, which produce the Ficsmas gifts, which are then be turned into more Ficsmas related stuff. A part of those gifts are directly put into the next ring, which produces the red and the blue ornaments. Those are then put into the next inner ring and turned into the copper and the iron ornaments. And those then are taken further inwards and turned into the ornament bundles. which are then be put into the second layer. Additionally, I have constructors here which produce Ficsmas tree branches, bows, and yeah, that's about it. Those are also moved upwards, as you can see here. Everything is moving upwards. And then put into the second ring. First, we have here on, well, let's wait for this whole saving business. And now let's have a look. So here we are creating the candy canes for the most part, except for the last part here where we are also creating some snow, which is then turned into the snowballs. The candy canes themselves are also connected together and put into further processing together with what we are getting from below. So here we are taking the bundles and creating decoration. Then a bit later we are taking all of those decoration and turning them into stars together with a whole lot of those candy canes, obviously. And in this area here is for what's left, which are pretty obvious, the fireworks. So basically just taking the required components and putting them together. And everything that is not used up is going directly through overflows onto one big belt, at least once it's all fused together in this point, and then gets moved straight down and towards the output, or the storage area. And that's already all that's to explain on the inside here. So let's have a final look at it from the outside, if we can find the way out. Because there is actually only one spot where you can get easily out, like here. And yeah, as I said, this is basically all that needs to be explained about how this works. The last part I would like to cover is how I built this. Obviously, this is a lot of things to place in the exact right position, but it got much easier due to the use of the blueprints designer. So as you can see here, there are loads and loads and loads of blueprints I designed, all required for a part of this. And altogether, this here is a couple hundred, well, almost 1,000 of blueprints all put together. So just to show you a few examples, a nice example is, for example, tip here, which is this part there, basically just repeated over and over and bit overlapping. Then we have, for example, let's say the foundry setup with the corresponding parts of the outer corners or of the outside of the tree itself. And yeah, that's basically how I built the entire system up. Here, for example, you can also see parts of the outer structure. And also here, for example, a constructor and what's it called again? An assembler. So basically, without the availability of blueprints, this would have taken much, much longer than just a few days. And with that, we've reached the end of this little tour here. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and, well, see ya.